Cool. You all good?
I think that's still right.
Yeah? We have actually just started. You was just prepping and preening yourself in the mirror from what I could see. Making sure you look fresh. Well, don't worry, because you definitely
That's
do.
why I got the haircut.
Oh, well, anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Luton Steadpool podcast with me, Luton Steadpool, and my guest today, Nikhil from ND Sports and Development. Is that right?
Sports therapy.
Sports therapy, sorry. Oh my gosh, man. I've been reading too much Science Edge, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, I don't cut anything. I do leave it up to the people that come on to see if they want to cut things, but most people say no. They say no, they're just pretty cool with everything being in. I come here today to your wonderful facility. I can't believe how beautiful it is, man.
Thank you.
No, it really is. It's so nice. You can't see it, but he's got some beautiful pictures on the wall, and there's some nice tiles. The colour's just awesome, man. It feels so fresh and clean, and just like a really inviting place to be in. Got nice parking around the back as well.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. You've got such a great spot here. How did you well, let's first, before we get into your building and stuff, let's actually talk about you, right? So please tell everybody, what we like to do on the show is break down the person a little bit and find out where they've been, where they're from, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, please give a little introduction to yourself.
You said it. My name's Nikhil. I was born and bred in Luton, right here in Leagrave. I went to university in Coventry, did my degree in sports therapy, and then I went and done my master's in strength and conditioning. And you know what? I was growing up, I never knew what I wanted to do. Didn't know, I was just a kid, just enjoying life. Didn't really think about the future too much. And then I had to think about what I wanted to do. So I decided to do sports therapy at university. And I felt like, I've always grown up playing sports, always done sports, always been active. That's kind of all I've ever known. And I picked the things I enjoyed to do.
Yeah.
Whilst I was kind of at school and college. So decided sports therapy was something I wanted to do. Went into that, graduated, and it was a tough start. So I started first day of university, dislocated my shoulder.
I read that on your website. Oh my gosh.
So bad that I had to have surgery on it. And then, you get all these little setbacks in life and stuff, but I just kind of carried on. Graduated from that, did my master's, and then my goal was to work in professional sports. Football, that's where it's all at, isn't it?
You've kind of done that though, haven't you?
A little bit, yeah.
I've
done bits and bobs, kind of bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah.
But after that, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. So I kind of left the sports side and thought I want to go more clinical.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have that backup and different avenues to kind of go around. Since I started going more, working in clinics, I've enjoyed it since. And then I thought, how can I make this better? And I thought, setting up my own business, and I feel like I get more value from doing that than working for other people. I can work on my terms.
Yeah, exactly. You can get up when you want, you can book when you want.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And it's the flexibility, but it also allows me to do a lot more and kind of do it my way, which might not be the right way, but I've kind of taken bits and bobs from different clinics I've worked in, and I've looked at all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, and just tried to make, taking all the good bits and put it into this clinic and this business. That's basically been the goal.
Man, you know what? It's working. It really is. I think that people are sort of getting away from wanting to be underneath people, doing stuff that's kind of maybe, you might enjoy the job, but it's not as fulfilling because it's not on your terms. And I think that we're seeing a lot more people nowadays who are just taking them big risks and going out there and sort of doing stuff on their own. And you're a great example of that. You're quite a young man as well. How old are you?
Take a guess.
Huh?
Take a guess.
Take a guess. Ooh. I'm going to say, I reckon you're 25.
It's not bad. 26.
26, man, I'm good. I'm good, man.
I've had some interesting answers.
No, but I knew that you're young. I mean, you look young anyway, but it's really inspiring to see people of your age that take these chances. And you say about not knowing what you wanted to do when you was in school, and sort of coming out and just going, yeah, well, I like sports, and then just going with it. But you know what? That's actually a really good way to kind of give yourself a chance in life, and try to find out what you like and what you do. You don't really know until you try something, right? And knowing that you like a certain thing, and then just building the idea around that's brilliant, man. And like, you can see that you really enjoy what you do. When I met you the other day at the Love Luton run, because you was drafted in last minute, weren't you? Yeah, and when I saw you then, you were just so happy the whole time. Like, you literally got made to get up at God knows what time in the morning for that, and come and set up. And it was quite cold that day as well. And you sat there and you was massaging people, and you was giving people advice. You gave me some advice, like, man, you done it with such a smile, and like, you were so friendly. You didn't push your business once. Like, that's what I noticed. You didn't like. It wasn't like a chance for you to. It was more of a thing that you wanted to do something in the community, right? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I think that's what it's always been about. It's, you want to help people, but you want to give value back to where you're from and the community. And I got to meet so many people that, one, I haven't seen in a long time, that I didn't expect to see at the run, but also lots of new people that had come from everywhere. And again, it's just building connections. And I like, this job, it's kind of a social thing, because you connect with people on a different level, and you build up relationships, and you kind of get close to people. And a lot of the clients I have in, I could probably call them my friend, because they know nice. A lot. They know a lot about me. I know a lot about them. But it's helping the community from where you're from. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
And I saw people like some of my teachers from college, and some of friends I've not seen since college or sixth form and things like that. And that was nice. It was nice because it kind of brought back, and we were just literally, as I was treating them, we were just reminiscing about the past. So yeah, it was a good event. And I think the business is there. It's there to be kind of promoted and stuff, but it wasn't at the forefront.
I could really tell. Like, I had to actually like sort of beg you to be able to come down and like do this with you, because you was kind of a little bit reluctant at first with it. And I think that it's because your focus was what you was doing that day. It's not like, I'm throwing business cards out left, right, and centre. That's not what you was doing at all.
Yeah. And I had like I said, I had my friend, I had my dad.
Your dad was promoting you big time.
Yeah, he was. I got to thank him a lot, and my parents, but and my friends, for they've always given me the support to do what I want to do, and they do most of the promoting for me. And I will do what I need to do with the marketing side of stuff, because I'm basically a one-man band running this place. But they've done a lot to support me and try and get the word out there. And so I can't thank them enough for that. But it is, the event was good. I think it was all so last minute. I didn't really think about kind of promoting myself. I think maybe if I had more time, I would have, but it wasn't. It was, once you're there working, it was just, you saw it. It was a one person in, one person off, like bed. And
you didn't stop.
I think it was maybe like a good 4 hours of just constant treating.
Your hands must have been done, bro.
Do you know what? There was one point, and I said to Dad, I turned at him and I went, Dad, my forearm is cramping up as I was treating somebody. And he was like, he just looked at me and he was like, what can I do? And I said nothing. And I just kind of like, I just stretched it out quickly. And I was just carrying on.
Oh my gosh.
But it would have been nice. Like, I think if it was more planned from my side, and I wasn't asked so last minute, I would have tried to get more people down. But on the whole, it was...
No, you done really well, man. You done really well. You put a smile on people's faces. I got to meet you, which was nice. I didn't know who you were before this. So then after that, I started, I looked into you a bit, and I read up on your website, and I looked at what you've been doing, and you've been in the paper a couple of times, right? For this little award that we got here. Let's show this off. Yeah? Look at this, beautiful, man. Role Model of the Year. Oh my gosh! Do you know how important it is to get a title like that? That is really, really impressive. There's not many people in this town that can say they have one of them. For that one is
Yeah.
especially. That's really big, man. So, like, how did you come about getting that?
Do you know what it was? I didn't know anything about it, and I actually had, that must have been what, 6 months after I opened up, maybe 3 or 4 months after I opened this place last year, and I just had a big surgery done because I got quite ill. So I was still in my recovery.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got an email and it was in my junk email. I just happened to kind of swipe through it and look at it. And I was like, is this real? Because I had something similar before from somewhere else and I was like, that's this fake.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this real? So I Googled it, had a look. And then I was like, Mum, Dad, I just got this email. Do you think I should give them a call? So I called them up. And they were like, yeah, it's all legit. I was like, okay, interesting. I was like, at the time, just because like the procedure and surgery and stuff I had, I wasn't really expecting it and I wasn't working either. So yeah, me, Mum, Dad, we decided, we'll head down. It was a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Didn't really know what to expect. I've never heard of the awards before. So I didn't know how big it was till I got there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I was all dressed up, like bow tie, and I was in my head, I was like, am I overdressing for this?
Was this last year?
This was last year.
It was last year's one. I was there.
Were you there?
With no mask, no suit. I was just there as my regular self. But I don't remember seeing you. No, man. No,
well, I was probably like hiding a bit because I didn't. When I got there, me and Mum went because my dad was ill, and like I said, I didn't realize on what scale this was on, and it was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. I love them awards. They're crazy. They're absolutely crazy.
And yeah, we went there, and I was just happy to be there. I was like, this is an achievement, you know. Being shortlisted out of all the people that were there. If I win, great. If I don't win, still a big achievement. But then I was sat down and I said to my mum, I was like, if I don't win this, I'll actually be a little bit annoyed. And I think that competitive side kind of came in, right? And then I read the bios of like why the other two people had been nominated, and I sat down and went, Mum, I'm not going to win this. And she was like, you were literally moody for like the whole of that till they announced it. And then they came to like the award, and I just sat there like I was eating food, whatever. And then I just didn't expect my name to be called out. So when they said my name, I looked at them and I was like, I heard that right, because I was expecting somebody else's name. And I was like, oh, now I've got to get up and walk onto the stage. It was a good evening. Really enjoyed it. It was surprising, but it was.
I don't think it's surprising. I think it's expected for someone like yourself. You know, you're a young man who has done a lot. Like, my God, when I was 26, what had I done? Not much. I'd messed up a lot throughout my teens and throughout my early 20s. It's only since like probably after 26 when I started to really take life seriously. And I think that speaks for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people don't really have, like you, I came out of school, had no idea what I wanted to do. I tried my hand at loads of different jobs at different college courses. I actually done a Swedish massage course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did. I did Barnfield College. That didn't get anywhere. I haven't got. I have no skill. I'll give my wife a massage maybe every now and then, but that's about it. But I came from that sort of place of not knowing anything of what I wanted to do, and I wasn't like you, where I, sort of decided to really like throw myself all in at something. And like I say, I think that speaks for a lot of people. So you're unique in that regard, when you don't downplay yourself for getting something like that, man, you totally deserved it. Like, what you do now as well, is just brilliant. Like, I love that you came to love Luton Awards, and what I want to see from you more as well now is like, you're a young man. This is why I want you on the show, so that I can show people that this is what you can do. Like, this building is beautiful. This is your home, man. Like, this is your spot. Like, it's crazy to think that, you've got all of this stuff and you're still so young. There's so much for you to do still.
It's weird because like a lot of people say that I have students come in who shadow me and kind of have their placements here, but they all say the same thing. And I don't know, maybe I can't take a compliment and stuff, but it's weird. It's weird hearing it because I just do what I've got to do, if that makes sense. So I don't look at it as like I've done something big or I've achieved this. I've just done what I need to do, or in my head, what I feel like I need to do. And for me, the goal, I don't even know what the goal is, but I just keep going. I just want to do more and help more people.
Would it be correct in saying like you don't have like an overarching goal? It's more of a like daily goals, just like get this client sorted out, look after this person, like smaller goals. Is it kind of like that how you do things?
Yeah, so I look at like every day I come in, I look at what I've got in, who's in, what do I need to do to make them progress and get better. But you know, I think you need some sort of kind of direction, especially when you kind of got your own business. Without a direction, you're not going to go far. So I knew I wanted to set this place up. I knew I wanted to find the perfect location. We went round so many places to look at. It was so hard to find a place. And then I saw this and I went, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. But I think I don't know what the word is, but I kind of just go with the flow mostly, and see where it takes me, because I think it's good to have the goal, but it's also good to know that if you don't meet that goal, it's fine. And sometimes your plans,
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
The plans change.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I wanted to work in professional sport. My goal would have been to work at a professional football team, football club, as a therapist there, but that didn't work out. And if I just relied on that alone and put all my eggs in one basket, I probably wouldn't be here. So it's good to have the backup plans and stuff. So I would say, the goal is to make this as big as it will go, and just keep going, because there's no limits on what you can achieve, right?
Definitely.
You just keep taking it as far as it will.
I think that like you kind of say yes to every opportunity as well, and it's like that's
probably too much.
No, mate, it's the exact same as me, and do you know what? It works. It really works. Like being open-minded in terms of life in general is really important. I always find really stubborn people really strange, because like if you imagine that if you started life in that same stubbornness, you'd just still be eating baby food and pooing in a nappy.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Nothing would change. But like, because you need to be open to things to develop as a person. It's like I don't like any of the stuff that I really liked as a child. Do you know what I mean? And that's because as I grew up, I let people introduce me to new things, and they became my new hobbies. And then as time went on, I found within those hobbies little subsets that then I got even deeper into. And that's kind of like, I'm like you, I let the wind kind of guide me. And if it looks good, then I'll try it. And then if it's bad, then I drop it and I move on to the next thing. And I like massively believe in that. I think that the thing with like the whole small goals thing as well is that if you just focus on the little things, like someone said to me like a long time ago, one of my old tutors, if you're having a hard time in life, just start by making your bed. That's it. Do that one job every day. Make sure you do it, because then that's a little win. It's just a small win and you don't realise it, but then once you've made your bed, you're going to be like, actually, I'm going to pick up the clothes off the floor as well. And then you're like, oh, actually, I'll probably run the Hoover around as well. And then by doing these little small things, they amount to all of a sudden you've got a nice, beautiful house where you might have been living in an absolute shithole beforehand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And the small wins, like you said, they amount to big wins later on.
Yeah, but you just don't see them right away.
Yeah, and it takes time to see that. And, I think once you've given it 2 months or 2 years and you've seen the progression, because that's how I've taken it. I knew setting this up in the middle of the pandemic was going to be hard. But I said, give myself 2 years minimum. Doesn't matter what happens, but 2 years. Now it's me being optimistic. Probably looking at more like 3 or 4 years. But I had the targets I wanted to hit. And I've seen, like I said, I set up for 2 months. I was open for 2 months. And then I got ill. Then I was closed for 3 months. Then I opened again. And then now you can kind of see the progression. Whereas at the time it was like, nothing's going right. Nothing is going right or the way it should be.
Yeah.
But now I look back and I go, actually, I'm more busier now than I was back then. But at the time it felt like you were never going to be busy.
Yeah.
And then, you're getting recommendations. I've had people travel from like London and
Wow.
Northampton and places and Milton Keynes, and to get people from the outskirts that don't even live in Luton was nice.
That's
It might
a
be
challenge,
the odd people, but like people have come from Hayes, Walthamstow, central London, and that's nice because you feel like you are giving value if people are willing to travel that far.
Because I'm sure they've got plenty of physios around them parts, right? There's not like a lack of them in London, I'm guessing. So for someone to decide to make that journey from London over to here, man, they must think very highly of you.
And for me, that's a positive sign.
Yeah.
And I might have the quiet week or a quiet day, but like I was saying to my dad the other day, like these can change so quickly. Like I could wake up and the diary could be quiet, and then I would just like get phone call after phone call.
Yeah.
People booking online, and suddenly you're busy for the whole week just in the space of like a few hours. So I don't look at that, and you have to be quite adaptive to that, because it might look quiet, but again, you could be very busy and then get cancellations and stuff, and that's fine. But then it just gives me more time to do admin or something else.
Yeah.
And I think you've just got to be a bit proactive, and where you just adapt to what's in front of you. And I'm quite flexible, so I like that. I can be here, or I can be at home. Somebody can call me up and say I need an appointment, and I'll just
you can just come in. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I would love to have that freedom in a job. That'd be amazing.
But I think it's you've got to balance it right, because a lot of my friends will know, like I will work like to crazy hours. Like I will work to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock if people want to be booked in, because I just don't like saying no to people. People will phone you up and say they're in a lot of pain, and I'll be like, I'm looking at the diary like, okay, I'm busy, I'm really busy, and I'll be like, okay, just come in at this time. If you want to come in at this time, 8 o'clock, come in at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If you want to come in early in the morning, I'll meet you there. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just adapt.
Yeah. Well, you've got to love the work that you do as well, right? Like, this is the thing that, again, I talk to a lot of people about, and when it comes to any kind of job, or like even with study or whatever it is, if you don't really thoroughly enjoy it, it's going to run you down, and you're just going to be exposed to so many different frailties, like mental health problems or like physical ailments, and you're going to have all these different issues start popping up in your life if you don't actually enjoy the thing that you do, especially if you're working as hard as what you're doing. So I bet them days, like even though they're long, I bet it doesn't feel like much work really.
No, and like I'm used to working the long hours, and when I worked in central London in a clinic there, I was probably seeing 50 appointments a week.
Wow.
And then you got to factor in the travel to central and the travel back. So it was long hours and days. So I knew I'd never be as busy as that, because I wouldn't let myself get that busy. But I know I could deal with that just about. So however busy I am here, I could deal with that. And I feel like there's more value when you've had a busy day. You feel tired, but you feel like a good tired, like you've worked hard and people are happy, and that makes you happy. So you're not like burnt out tired, you're just tired. That's fine. You can go to sleep.
Just means you need to go to bed.
You just need to go to bed. You wake up and you feel good. And that's what I like. If I'm quiet, sometimes I don't like it, because I just feel like I procrastinate a lot, and then you don't get anything done. Whereas if I'm under pressure, I get all the admin done on time. I get everything else done on time. Which is, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling to wake up and go, everything's good. You're content. And then you've got all the stuff you want to do, like the social side outside of work, and you can just chill, gym.
The thing is, the more that you do in your job, the more that them moments are enjoyable as well, right? Like I was at home the other day, and I was just like, I had so much to do, like planning like Deadpool wise and stuff, and like for volunteering and like doing all these different bits. And in the midst of that, like my kitchen was just a bomb site, right? And I was sitting there just like, man, I could go and blitz the kitchen, or I could play some FIFA for a little while and just chill. and I gave in and I chilled and played FIFA.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Everything else suffered because of it. If I would have just put the control down, just go sort out the kitchen, then when I get on to doing my next bit of planning and to be sorting out my diary or whatever, I'm just a little bit more on it. Like just having, like you say, being under pressure. And even when you put yourself under that pressure, you seem to work so much more efficiently, right?
Yeah, and it's weird. I was talking to like somebody the other day. I almost like the feeling of being on the edge of being like burnt out, but not actually getting myself burnt out because I know what the signs are.
Yeah.
But I can work under that quite well and quite efficiently and effectively when it's full on. And then I just need like a day to chill.
Yeah.
A day to chill, and then I've kind of recovered, and then you're back at it again. That's like optimal me.
Oh yeah.
And I can do all my gym stuff, hockey stuff, all of that on the side because that's my release.
Hockey as well, right? Yeah.
All of that's my release. Like I work and then I can go play hockey.
Yeah.
Just like relax.
That's how you've done your shoulder as well, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, man. See, I do my research, bro. I do my research. No, I actually dislocated my shoulder last year and playing football, and then I had 6 weeks off whilst recovering, and then I came back and dislocated my knee. I know. First came back about the worst thing is when I done the shoulder, it was in pre-season, and I just fell over. Like nothing else happened. It was literally kick off. So I came on for the second half. We kicked off. Well, no, they kicked off, and I've just gone charging, and I slipped and fell, and I like right away. I didn't even get a touch of the ball. And I was
like
gone.
The worst. That's that's like similar to mine. I was literally we just done the warm up. We're 5 minutes into the first. Like it was the trials for the team, and I've just passed the ball. Literally passed the ball, no backswing, nothing. And it just fell out. Just literally, it just came out. And obviously, I'd injured it twice in the summer leading up to uni, but didn't know I damaged it that much. And funny enough, it was playing football as well. But it was just a pass, and it just came out.
Have you had shoulder problems in the past?
No, other than that summer leading up to the dislocation, I've never had a shoulder issue. I've never had a full-on injury like that.
Oh man, mine is 100% self-inflicted. When I was younger, like I can still do it, but I don't do it anymore because I'm worried because I'm damaging myself. I can dislocate both my shoulders and like pop them out fully and like flap them around and stuff. And I used to do that as a kid quite a lot. And because of that, growing up, there was when I was in college this one time, we was playing dodgeball, and it was me by myself at the end. My whole team's cheering. It was crazy. It was such a monumental day of it was a tournament that we played, and my team made to the final, but everyone got knocked out, and it was just me on my own against like two people. And I got one out, and then I picked up the next ball, and I've gone to throw it, and then as I've thrown it, my shoulder just came with me. It was the weirdest thing. Like I didn't really put a lot of force into it, but then my shoulder was just down, my arm was down by my side, and limp and like ridiculous. It was horrible.
And that's it's quite common. Like it'll fall out forwards. Like we call it like an anterior dislocation. But it sounds like you've probably got some sort of hypermobility if you've been doing that since you were a kid.
Yeah.
But that's probably not helped you.
I think I might be laying off sports for a while. I don't know.
At least all the
it's not a good look as well. I'm supposed to heal really quickly. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I do. I totally do.
We'll cut that out.
We'll cut that out. Yeah, forget that. Oh, in fact, actually, let me just check. We're still recording. Yes, we are. I'm so sorry. I have to check because people have been on the podcast and then it's just cut out midway through. Just want to make sure that everything is working. It looks good. There we go. There we go. I'm so sorry about that. Right. Just like I say, I just like to be, oh my God, you don't understand how much of a pain in the arse this has been. Like, obviously, like yourself, I do all of this stuff by myself. And, I'm not a tech guy at all. I don't have any tech skills. I've just had to kind of learn it as I go. And luckily, I've had people give me bits of advice and stuff, and it's helped. But with the podcast stuff, I don't know anybody who knows anything. And when it comes to recording and stuff, it should be really straightforward. But for some reason, there's like 2 guests that have been on my show that when they come on my show, a ghost comes into my phone and starts pressing buttons and like coming off of the video. Like it literally happened the other day. I pressed play to record, and then I sat down, we were talking. I was like, let me just go and check just in case. And it was on a game. So what the flipping hell was going on?
Honestly, I hate technology. Like,
Yeah.
I try and stay away from it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Just because same reasons. Just I kind of end up learning on the job.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I do that with most things, but yeah,
I mean, it's got its place, right? You know, you can learn things through technology, right? There's like a lot of stuff that I learn is because of my phone, but I don't have the slightest clue how to get 100% performance out of that thing. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a big like electronic brick that I know how to get pictures up on.
That's literally it.
That's it.
Right. No, it's
but yeah, let's talk about technology actually, and like, you know, science and all that sort of stuff, because I'm sure that you can enlighten me a little bit on certain things that you can do in your life to make things last longer, maybe like your joints or just your physical health in general. Like, you know, what like do you have? Because you're quite a fit and healthy guy. I can see you go to the gym, you play hockey quite a bit. And I don't think that there's like quite enough information out there for people when it comes to this sort of stuff. So enlighten us all, please.
I think for me, and you know, I do it with a lot of people in here, and it's one thing I would say is the key is to keep moving. And I think a lot of people, especially since the kind of lockdown and pandemic and stuff, people working from home have just been stationary. I feel like people have got more lazy, but then you've also got people who have realized they need to exercise. But I think any sort of movement is the key. You know, in rehab here, I'm hands-on, but I will get people up and moving because movement is medicine. So, you know, whether that's something basic, because not everyone goes to the gym, so you've got to adapt. Can they do something in the house? You know, lift something in the house, like a water bottle or something simple, or just resistant bands or something like that. But I don't think you need crazy amounts of like equipment or technology. You just need to move, but it's doing the right movements. And people will get stiff and achy if they sit down for too long. Yeah, I would say literally it's as simple as that. If you move, you'll feel better. It's little things like
you make it sound so easy.
it's the hardest thing is starting, right? It's the motivation to go.
Yeah.
But if no one's saying you've got to go every day. You know, you've not been moving. You've just got to get up and start moving. It's not that simple.
Yeah, what would you say to someone who's like quite a sedentary lifestyle type person, eats a lot of crap, just sits and watches bloody Gogglebox or whatever all day long, or Bake Off? I don't know. I don't watch normal TV. But yeah, you know, just sits and just does nothing basically with himself. What would you say to a person like that?
I would say simple stuff. You know, you can move in your chair. Like the amount of times I've given people exercises to do in their chair, because I know they're busy. They're in meetings and they're doing stuff, and they don't necessarily have the time to get up and about. You can start off moving in your chair. If not, then I would say 3 times a week, just go out for a small walk and just build it up. Even if you went one day a week, you said I'm going 20 minutes, and you stick to that, then you can go, okay, I'm going to add in another day, and then another day, and just build it up. If you try and do everything in one go, it's never going to work, because you're going to put too much pressure on yourself. You're going to realize, actually, I don't have the time because I've not factored that in. You'll just maybe do it for a week and then you'll stop. If you just got to gradually build it up. It's the same like if you're going to go to the gym, you're not going to start lifting the heavy weights straight away. You're going to start with the light weights and build it up. It's the same principle.
My issue's always been is that I cannot do anything at home. I just don't. It's like I think I associate home with a comfort place way too much. So exercise at home for me has always proved to be basically impossible. For me to get fit, I need to go to the place. It's like, you know, people go to temple or to church or to mosque to go and pray, right? And it's not like you can't do it at home, but it's more meaningful when you go there, right? And I feel like going to the gym for me is like, that's my temple in a way. It's like, that's where I go to work hard, and I love the pain when I'm there. It's like, it's such an adrenaline rush, you know what I mean? When you come out after a really, really heavy session, and all you can think is how much better you're going to be after that. And like that's kind of always been the thing that I need to do. I can't speak for everybody. You know, some people just absolutely hate the gym, but also I like gyms that have like nice spas and stuff like that as well. Because then I've got to go and relax afterwards.
Chill afterwards,
I'm beat, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think that's it. And you can apply that to everything, right? Like I can work from home. I can sit at a desk all day. But that's just me. I need to be moving.
Yeah.
My job's physical anyway. So, you know, it works for me. Like this is probably the most I'm probably going to sit down today. So like, I would be sitting down for like 5 minutes and I'd get people up and moving straight away. Like that's as quick as I kind of do it. And then, yeah, I think I can't work at home. I get what you mean, like kind of exercising at home. You need to separate the home and the exercise and the work and stuff like that. I couldn't sit at home doing my admin stuff. I'd probably have to come in here because I would just sit there and procrastinate and do nothing. And I know if I'm here, it's work. I get it done.
Yeah.
The same with the exercise. Like I can exercise in here because I've got some equipment, but the gym just gives me that little more
It's
to kind
a little
of progress,
bit more, isn't
right?
it? Yeah.
So I think it's that. It's also knowing, you know, for me, I like exercising in the morning because it just makes me feel set for the day. Whereas some people like to do it after work. For me, like I've just done a whole day of work. Like the work feels like the workout. So I just need to go home and chill.
I have to do my workouts in the morning, man. I can't if it's anything past lunchtime. No way, it's not happening. I need to get it done nice and early because then it's like I feel like it's such a good start to the day as well. You feel fresh and ready, and you know after working out, you're a bit tired at first, but then as the day goes on, you're quite fine. It's actually the next day when it's quite hard after working out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
and I think like it's the best feeling, like working out in the morning. For me, it sets my day.
Yeah,
I'm probably in a bit of a like rut at the moment where I've like not gymmed for like ages, but it's winter.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
holiday period, man, it's fine.
But you know, it's getting back into that routine. I went once, like maybe like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I didn't go again. But you know, like I said, my job's physical. I see people who do like manual labor stuff, like you know, you've got gardeners, you've got people in construction, they're lifting stuff anyway. It's almost like a workout itself.
Yeah.
So, you know, can you get people doing stuff while they're at work? Yeah, probably. You know, just lift up some heavy like machinery. It's a workout. Do I need to get them in the gym? Probably not. But maybe I do because I need to get them stronger to allow them to do the work they need to do.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just weighing up that every client is different. Their needs are different, you know, and kind of knowing what their goal is. What is their goal? Is it to get them stronger? Is it to get them more mobile? Is it to reduce pain? Or it's just figuring that out. But I mean, just generically, I think if you move and you start off slowly and just even things like yoga, I know everyone, like a lot of people will be like, oh, yoga, I don't want to be stretching and stuff, but there's so many types of yoga out there and it gets you moving, it gets you more mobile, but it also builds up a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Like people have been on my Insta, you'll probably see like poses of me on like 2 hands and stuff. That's core stability, shoulder mobility, shoulder strength. So you could just hold that pose for 5 seconds. You're loading up your shoulders without any equipment.
But actually, like putting the strain.
Yeah, you don't have to lift. You don't have to lift heavy weights. But if you start off slowly and you do it the way it needs to be done, you'll see progression.
I definitely want to do yoga. You know, I've always had a massive interest in it. I'm just too gassy. I'm so scared. I'll go into a yoga class. They'll be like, right, touch your toes. I'm like that,
all out
in someone's face.
But
I won't be welcome back, man.
No, definitely not. But it's, you know what, it's just, I think probably you're not the only one that's like worried about that. Like I had been in clinic and I think it was a kid I had at one time somewhere, and I got him to do something and hold something, and then just bang, just let it happen. It was funny because like his mum was sitting right there as well, and his mum just looked at me, and I was like, well, it wasn't me. But it's I think that if you build up all of this stuff, like you like we said before, you start off small and then just build up. You will see the progression and and that big win when you can kind of hold a pose, or you see the increase in like mobility and stuff. Because I've had so many people come in with like chronic pain.
Yeah.
And when you're in chronic pain, you think you're always going to be in pain. They'll say like the same thing, like I'm used to being in pain, and I don't feel the pain anymore that much because I'm used to the pain.
Yeah.
But when they see the progression, actually what it feels like not to be in pain,
Yeah.
and it does take a long time because a lot of that becomes psychological, right?
Yeah.
They start to go, actually, I don't have to live in pain, and I can move more without being in pain. Oh, and I can do this.
But what is that? Yeah, like so this always boggles my mind in that stubbornness, of where someone's like, yeah, no, it's fine. I'm in pain all the time, and it's just normal now. Like that is not normal. Like, why would you want to be in pain? Like, for me, I see pain as being a problem. Yeah, and whether that's mental pain or physical pain doesn't matter. Like, it's a problem for me, and I need to try and soothe that pain, right? So I look for solutions to it. But some people just don't look for solutions. They just go, well, that's kind of it, and they just give up like that.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like, I would say, you could be in pain for like 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, it's probably going to become a big psychological element will be in play.
Yeah.
And the longer they're in pain, the more the psychological side will kind of take over. But I would also say the amount of pain doesn't determine how much damage there is. And a lot of people equate pain, the amount of pain, to how much damage. So if you're in a lot of pain, say 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, they're going to think, oh, there's something really bad going on. But you could tear a ligament and be in not that much pain.
Yeah.
You could get a paper cut and that's going to hurt so much. The damage there is minimal. So I think it's a lot of it comes down to understanding.
It's our relationship with pain as well, isn't it?
It is, and
because I find that do you ever do the sauna or steam room?
I've done it before, but I don't do it often. But
yeah, so like I started doing it because like I've heard many health benefits about it, and I'm not going to try and talk about the health benefits because I'm not a scientist or a doctor or anything like that. But the things that I've read about it seems really good. I think it widens your blood vessels whilst you're inside there, so like increases oxygen flow to your muscles and stuff. So yeah, just for that part, I always do it after the gym. But the very early days of doing the sauna, oh my god, I couldn't last a minute in there.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just so hot and you really can't breathe very well. And then when you are breathing in and out, it's just so hot. It actually hurts your throat and hurts your lungs. And at first, it's like you're sitting there and you start to get into a bit of a panicked state. You're like, is this actually good for me? Am I going to die in here? And then you feel like you need to get out. And it's only over time as you go more and more. Like, the other day I sat in there for probably about half an hour. And I think it was like 85 degrees in there. So, it's really hot, but I love it. I absolutely love it now. But that pain I had to get used to in a way. So, yeah, I guess there's kind of times when being used to pain does benefit you in a way.
Yeah, it's adaptation, right? And you adapt to that feeling. And sometimes people will feel pain, but it's not actually pain. It could just be tenderness. It could be soreness.
Yeah.
And until they realize that it's not pain, it's weird. Like, people will come in and go, they won't even be able to explain how they feel, but they'll say they're in pain, but they won't have the words to say how it feels.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because then it stumps them, because you're really trying to break it down.
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, but are you feeling it? And they just expect pain. So I will move their leg and stuff, and they will resist so hard, and because they think it's going to hurt. But if you tell them to relax and actually get them breathing and slowing things down and moving, they go, actually, I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
It is weird. I think even by all of us, like therapists and doctors and stuff, pain is still misunderstood.
It's so strange, isn't it? Yeah.
We're still learning about it because it's so complex.
I think that pain is kind of wrapped in fear as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's the fear of pain that gets people the most. Like, I donate blood a lot, right? And when they come get the needle, I hate needles. I absolutely hate them. So I hate it. Like, I really love giving blood, but the needle part just, oh my god, it makes me feel sick every time. And it's like, I get there, I sit down, And then the whole time I'm thinking about the needle. I can't get the needle out of my head. It's driving me crazy. I just want to run away and cry. And then they get the needle out. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm just going to look away and just do it when you're ready. And they're like, yeah, it's in. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't hurt at all.
No, exactly. Yeah. And I just think like I think if we educate people on pain a little bit more, and like I said, we still don't all fully understand it. It's so complex. There's so many pathways and so many different pain theories, but if we can make people understand how their bodies move a little bit more and things like that, I think it becomes easier. And for like in simple terms, you could feel pain, right? Like imagine like you fall over when you're a kid and you've grazed your knee and it hurts like a lot. And your mum comes over and rubs your knee and stuff, right? As long as you override that pain sensation with another sensation, you won't feel that pain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? Something like that.
In
simple terms, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, like if you're like, you fall over, your mum gives you a lollipop, and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Actually, I should fall over more because I get
lollipops. Yeah, but it's like kids will come in and they will literally say it's the worst thing they've ever felt, because at that time in their life, it's the worst thing they've ever felt. So if you ask the kid when they're falling over, what's the 10 out of 10? They're probably going to say 100. Yeah. But it's not. And as they get older, they'll probably be able to play on something like that, like go back and play football. They'll probably take the knock and be back up and running again. Yeah. But I've also had adults come in that in like 30s, 40s, and they've been lucky not to have an injury or feel pain. Because it's so painful to them. That's the first time they've ever had something that painful. Yeah. And it's trying to reassure them that actually they're okay. Yeah. And just because it hurts a lot doesn't mean they're in trouble. But psychologically, they tense everything up, which then makes the pain feel even more worse. Right?
Yeah. Do you know what? And on the other end of the spectrum, right? So I've got one of my exes, her dad, when he was working as a mechanic, he accidentally sheared most of his thumb off, right? So his thumb was like from here, it was like all hanging down by a thread. Yeah, I don't know what was. It was probably like an artery or something that was just keeping it on. I'm not even joking. Like he showed us like the scars and everything. It's horrible. He's got a massive scar going down here. But yeah, it was completely hanging off, and he drove himself to hospital like that, with blood just squirting everywhere. He didn't stop to wrap it up or anything. And he said he was smoking a fag on the way, and he just was fine. Just, he was like, it hurt a little bit, but, he crushed his whole hand. He'd been in the army, he'd been shot. Like, to him, that was absolutely nothing whatsoever,
And it's the adrenaline, isn't it? Yeah. Once the adrenaline gets going, you probably don't feel it. You just carry on. And it's like when people get injured initially, the adrenaline's going. It's not till everything settles down, the adrenaline's gone, that they go, ow, the pain hurts. Like it really hurts. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like crazy things happen, and it's in a good way. Like you don't feel the pain, hopefully. Yeah. But you.
It's weird though. Like, I've broken many bones, right, and dislocated many joints over the course of my life, and there was one that I had a hematoma on my shin bone, right? And it was so bad when it happened, you could see my shin bone, like completely took skin off and everything. And there was a big dent and a hole in my shin. And I remember looking down at it when it happened and seeing my bone, and people were like, "Oh my God, that's your bone." And then one of my managers, because it happened at work, one of my managers, this lady, she came in and she passed out when she saw it. It was, and I was sitting there like, it's fine, like I'm not even bothered. Then I was fighting with my dog. I say play fighting, that's like the worst way to say it, but my dog is massive, right? So me and him proper like play fighting, he loves it. But this one day he threw himself on me and like he crushed my arm. And I looked at my arm, I had a little lump come up here, and I was like, oh, have I done something? And then I got all hot and sweaty, and then I passed out. And do you know what was wrong? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just because the way I'd held my arm up, the bone looked a bit funny. That was it. I went to hospital and everything. I was such an idiot. I feel so embarrassed for it. But I can have an injury like that, and I was totally fine. And then literally nothing happened at all. And my mind perceived it as something serious. And then I passed out. Like,
that's why like the psychological stuff is so interesting as well, because like you said, you looked at it and you just straight away thought it was so bad.
yeah.
You literally just blacked out.
Yeah.
But it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. And then, like you said, you had the hematoma, and it just
I know,
the
it's
worst thing. You were
crazy
like,
how the mind works like that, isn't
and,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
think it is so interesting. And like I've had like I think the worst pain I've ever felt was when I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out at one go.
Oh,
Which
God.
I definitely would not recommend.
No.
But I had all 4 done, which they put me to sleep for. But I woke up with the worst pain I've ever felt. I was on like soft foods and stuff for like days, but I looked like a chipmunk. Like both, like honestly, here and here was just like this. I probably never looked so chubby in my life. But it was honestly, I've never felt pain like to the point where I actually did pass out a few days later because the pain was that bad. Yeah.
Oh, God, man. Yeah, no, that's horrible. That's horrible. Let's get off pain anyway, because like it's making me cringe a little bit. But yeah, no, let's talk about, do you like Luton Town? Do you like Luton Town Football Club?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Can we talk about something that I saw they put up? I can't actually, do you know what? I can't confirm this 100%. Just somebody told me about this, and I don't know if it's true or not. If it's true, it's really ridiculous. But if it's not, I apologise. This person told me that they asked people to come out with shovels to clear the pitch. Did you hear
I actually saw someone put something up this morning.
Yeah. So apparently they asked for fans to come and clear the pitch for them, and they've called the game off anyway, haven't they?
Have they called it off?
Yeah, they've called it off anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought they wanted to clear the pitch so they could play the game.
Yeah. So like they said, can people bring shovels and all of this? I need to like do my research, and after this, if I'm completely wrong, I'll put a post out and I'll say sorry, Luton Town or whatever. But if that's true, and apparently, like, so here's my assumption: if people are coming to do that, they're getting like a free ticket or something, right?
That's what I assume.
No, apparently it's a bacon sandwich. Oh man, like,
it was an early start as well, wasn't it? It was like 9. They said get there for like 9:45 or something.
Yeah, something like that. No, I was just crazy, man. I think it's because like obviously it's a Millwall game, and
it's a big game.
Yeah, it's such a big game. I wanted to go to that myself, but you know, obviously the game's been called off now, so hopefully they'll be able to sort it out and get it back on. But yeah, no, I just thought that was really funny when I saw it.
I saw it this morning. And I went, is anyone actually going to go down the hill?
My missus and my kid, they was going to go down with shovels and stuff. They was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then they're not getting a ticket out of it. And they're like, flip it. You want me to come and do the groundsman's job for him? And then I get a bacon sandwich out of it. That's it. That's a bit ridiculous.
That's why we're not getting promoted. We're not getting promoted because we don't have enough people to actually keep the grounds clean.
Nah, but Luton have been smashing it, man. What do you think to the new manager?
The new one, it's good. I think it's always hard when a manager leaves midway through the season, twice. But you know, that's football life, isn't it? People want to get to the top. I think just got to keep doing what they're doing. You know, Championship, it took so long to get to this level. So I think maintain it and then just start trying to push for promotion. But I mean, we can't have the stadium in the Premier League.
I know. We're gonna need to
Power Court needs to
power on and hurry up. Yeah, exactly, man. It's taking time, but now, do you know what? It's funny. I met Nathan Jones at the Luton Run Fest. Did you see him? I
saw him there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I met him, right, and I was so excited to meet him, and nobody knew, obviously, at that point that he was even considering going.
Yeah.
But I went up to him and I was like, "Oh my God, Nathan, I'm so glad to meet you. Like, you've done so much for this town. I'm so proud to have you here. Thank you so much." I gave him a hug and stuff, and then he was like, he just didn't really say anything. And I was like, "What? Did I say something wrong?" And it was because he was leaving the entire time.
Really?
It must have been. He must have known. It was only about 2 days after that the news came out. So he would have known then when he saw me. And yeah, he just looked so awkward when I was telling him how much I love him for everything he's done for the time. And the whole time must be thinking, oh, I'm here stabbing it in the back.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, again as well. Oh my god. No, but fair play to him,
he's done well.
He's done really well, and yeah, I'm proud to have had him here for the time he was. I hope the new guy can do some good things. I've heard some cool stuff about him in the changing room and on the training pitch. Like, sounds like a really, really good bloke. So yeah, hopefully he can get it right. It's just like, I think anybody coming in after Nathan Jones is going to have a hard job of them. I can't imagine how terrifying that dressing room must have been at half time, 0-0 or 1-0 down or something like that. Having Nathan Jones coming in with his fingers chewed to absolute pieces. He's been stomping and screaming on the sideline the whole game, and then you've been messing up. You're sat there waiting for him to come in. I would not want to be in that person's shoes.
No, he's not even a tall guy, is he?
He's not. He's just furious.
He looks angry.
I got to sit above him before on a game when we was in a box, me and my mate. And we sat above him, and my God, man, I can swear, but this guy, he takes the cake. He's taken swearing to a whole new level. He said words that I didn't even know existed. I can't even say them because I promised people that I'll keep this relatively clean. No F's or C's or anything that Nathan Jones says. Do you know what I mean? But my gosh, the man, he's brilliant, but at the same time, completely crazy. I guess that's where brilliance sits, isn't
That's it. I mean, you've got to have a balance, right? You've got to control the dressing room, but you've also got to be that kind of positive influence on the players at the same time. But you also got to show that you've got control.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to bollock players if they've not been doing what they're supposed to be doing. So
yeah,
but it'll be. I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting to see what happens. It's not been a bad season, so
yeah.
I think they've just got to keep going.
Are you going to any games coming up?
No.
No, you've not got any ideas for games coming up now?
No. Nothing.
Oh man, you got to come to a game. Me and you go to a game.
Okay, let's
do you want to go to a game?
Let's do it.
Yeah? Alright, wicked, man. We'll sort that out.
We'll do it.
100%, man. 100%. But tell me, have you got anything in particular coming up in the future? Is there anything that you've got ideas for that you want to get involved in, or just any messages you want to put out there to people?
Do you know what? It's a hard one. I think for me, trying to promote the sports therapy side kind of a little bit more. We get compared to physios, and there's a bit of a difference. And trying to get our society accredited, our profession accredited. So little things like that. I say little things, it's quite a big thing.
Yeah.
But then I think just for the community, I want to do more to kind of help people. I've got no plans as of yet, but I just want to keep pushing this as much as I can, building connections, connecting with other businesses and just taking it as far as I can. I've been lucky to have athletes in here, good athletes, both young and masters athletes. So for me, it's just trying to get as many people down here, help as many people as I can, build this up. And there's so many clinics in Luton and doing different things, but I'd like to think I've differentiated myself from all of them, just to be a little bit more kind of caring and different. And like you said, you've seen this place. It's not clinical. It doesn't look clinical.
No,
it's not white walls and a small room. It feels quite welcoming, I would like to think.
It does, man. It's lovely.
And that's what I want. I want people to feel comfortable when they come in. So yeah, for me, it's just if people can get the word out there. It's still a new business. It's only been 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So it's literally 18 months it's been up and running. So the progression has been good, but I just want to connect with people.
Well, I feel like
and
we've kind of done this a little bit now, and I believe in you, man. I want to help you, and just to let everybody know, because obviously I don't. Whenever I have somebody that's technically a business on, I just want to make it very clear I'm not being paid to do anything here. This guy is just someone that I really like, and I just want him to do really well, because I believe that with people like Nikhil, if we have more people like you in our community, and we've got more people for the younger lot to look up to, the better a chance Luton has at becoming great. And this is all part of it. So, you know, this is not like paid promotion, nothing like that. This is just, this guy is amazing. And I hope that people can see that through the talk that we've had, that none of this has been sort of like about making your business super profitable or anything like that. It's just about, like, obviously, man, I want you to do well financially. Do you know what I mean? But
definitely.
At the same time, I think the main thing is like, let's get people to just hear you. Do you know what I mean?
think for me, like, it's great having this, but I think in terms of like my story, I think there's always going to be little hills and stuff along the way. And you know, the last few years have been crazy for me. Literally like a roller coaster. It's just been up and down, up and down. But you've just got to stay positive. And I tell everyone that comes in there, you've got to be positive. You've got to have a good group around you that support you. And if they don't, then, you know, you get rid.
Yeah, bid them off. Yeah, straight
exactly.
up,
No, as harsh as it sounds, you have to. And because at the end of the day, you've got to look after you. You know, you're number one. So you stay positive. You do what you've got to do. You keep trying to achieve as much as you can. And like, you know, we said it earlier, and people will say it to me all the time, but I will never highlight my achievements, because I just do what I've got to do. Yeah. And I think that's all people need to do, is just push, keep pushing, keep driving. No one's saying be happy all the time, because no one is, but just be positive and be open-minded.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because I think that's all I've done. Like, it's as simple as that. It's been hard. It's been hard work, but, you know, I just enjoy it.
No, mate, it's perfect, and I'm loving what you're doing. I really am. Let's wrap this up, but let's give my last, like, kind of what I like to do now, which is like the final thought sort of thing, right? And this is coming from you, and I want you to give a message to young Nikhil, right? Now, I want you to picture young Nikhil in the worst sort of time for him in his teens, yeah? Time that would have been the hardest period for him in terms of like either mentally or physically, or just, you know, where he's going in his life. Give a message to him, talk to him now, right into that camera.
Right into the camera, okay. I would be saying to young little Nick, enjoy your life, because you only have one life. Don't be scared to take risks, you know, be sensible, weigh up your opportunities, because we all have opportunities. It's seeing what the good opportunities are. You know, that there's always going to be something that comes your way. And just, yeah, be happy and live your life to the fullest. And you will achieve big things if you work hard. I think it's probably as simple as that.
Yeah, man. Oh, I love it. You always do things simply, man.
But I think it has, like,
special.
I think as soon as you start trying to think big, you overcomplicate so much.
Trick yourself up. Yeah, man. No, well, look, Nikhil, this has been perfect. I love your message there. Hopefully there's a young Nikhil out there that heard that. That's what that was for. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for being awesome, and thank you for letting me have this time with you in your establishment.
Yeah. Is that you giving a hand out?
You didn't know what that was? That was just a handshake. Right, anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and I love you, Luton. Bye. There we go, all done. Thank you very much.